The pitch from Acevedo.
Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit.
Fly ball, gap, right center field.
Double him up at second.
Luke is going back to the 1-8 track. Get out the right, run and mustard grandma. It is grand salami time.
Polanco sent it into right, and will send Seattle to the American League Championship Series for the first time in 24 years.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. My name is Jeff Budke, filling in for Mahal Domingo Anderson. Where is he? That's none of your business, everyone. Mind yours. But I am joined by a special guest. My good friend Cody Stevenson is here. Cody, thanks for coming.
Of course, man. Always good to talk ball with you.
The two of us have something in common. We're both upset with the Brewers in this moment.
100%. I think you more so are upset with the Brewers. I'll probably have a bone to pick with them in October.
The 22 is an overrated number. Our backup shortstop gave up 9 of those runs. No one's talking about 13-0, but 22-0. It really hit hard.
Once position players come in, I think those stats shouldn't even count, even though one of the Brewers actually hit his first career homer in that game, which was off a position player. I guess it's a big league homer, so he's probably stoked about it, but he's got to have kind of mixed feelings on that one.
When you get that ball back and you put it in your case at home, like how many minutes before you mention it was off a position player, or do you just take that to the grave?
If you hit more than one in the big leagues, I think you kind of laugh about it.
Okay.
The most famous one is David Ross. When he came up with the Dodgers, his first career homer was off Mark Grace of the Diamondbacks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool one.
That's pretty cool. So the Mariners just wrap up a 9-game road trip. We were in New York. We were in Houston and Milwaukee. We went 4-5 on the road trip, which is the epitome of this season. It really feels like 5-4 was in reach, and for some reason, it just would have felt good to have been over 500 on a 9-game road trip. But we'll take 4-5. After last Tuesday's game against the Yankees, Cal Raleigh had a press conference where he said, I'm taking responsibility. This is my fault. He had some ownership, and he just said, we're not playing good enough. We are playing very, 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 very bad. I was like, geez, dude. Since then, he's got 8 walks in 7 games, 357 on base. He's not getting hits right now, but no one's really pitching to him. And I'm grateful to see him on base versus those strikeouts. So maybe this could just turn into something. I don't know. I think it might be time for Bryce Miller or George Kirby to go on the Ghost IL. In the words of Bill Simmons, bring Cade Anderson up. Bill doesn't know what he's talking about at all, but it is funny to see him tweet about Cade so much right now.
Bill Simmons, like basketball Bill Simmons?
Yeah, like the basketball guy who clearly has some money on Cade or some fantasy baseball Cade Anderson thing. He tweets about Cade every other day. It's hilarious.
I used to listen to him a lot more, and he is in like a deep league with rookies, so it probably has attachments to fantasy baseball.
It's got to be, right? It's money or fantasy. There's no reason he's locked into Seattle Mariners baseball right now.
Is there any talk of Cade coming up? I know he's dominated at the minor league level.
So we've passed the deadline of like he could still be considered a rookie next year, which is important to the Mariners. Jerry, the GM, really talked about having him still lengthen out because people were like, put him in the pen. And he's like, you guys are nuts. He started 18 games with like a 1.1 ERA. He's the best starting pitcher in the minor leagues. That's not a guy you just throw into the pen. So if he comes up, he's going to start. And I think it's time right now.
You guys don't lack the pitching, right?
Yeah, George Kirby and Bryce Miller, you can just see there's like some fatigue setting in. Those fastballs are not moving. Those fastballs, their average velocity is down, and it's just getting beat around the ballpark. George Kirby gave up 6 runs in the first inning today, and it's like, dude, give us a chance.
Yeah.
And I think it might be time to see the kid.
Yeah, it's that time of year. You
have a manager you like. For those that don't know, Cody's a Dodgers fan. Born and bred, long time Dodgers fan. Nobody heckle. He's been there. He's been there for a long time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pat Murphy did something today that was so baller. His starting pitcher goes out, runners on first and third, and he throws a wild pitch. So first pitch to Randy Rosarena is a wild pitch. Runner from third scores. Pitcher throws another pitch, misses the strike zone by 2 inches, an inch, like not an egregious ball. And Pat Murphy walks out there and takes the ball from him. Looks disgusted. I was like, oh, I love Pat Murphy
Pat Murphy's
so
like
much.
one of the last old school guys in baseball.
In the middle of a 2-0 count, he's like, get him. I'm sick of this.
Yeah, you don't have it. Give me the ball to hit the showers. That's Pat Murphy.
The idea of Dan Wilson doing that, like, I don't even no, there's no shot that he would do that. That's not the kind of guy he is. He's been ejected from a few games recently, and I'm like, it's been so bad for the Mariners, even Dan Wilson is getting ejected from games to try and fire
Was it
people.
last year when Dan Wilson took over or the year before?
The year before, so he's been there for 2 calendar years at this point.
Okay, because I listened to the end of last episode, and Mahal was like calling for Dan Wilson's head. I'm sure you're in the same boat. And like, do you think the manager has anything to do with it? Because we've seen teams. I mean, Don Mattingly turned around the Phillies. You saw the Red Sox, Chad Tracy, what he did after he took over for Alex Cora. Do you think the Mariners could have been one of those teams that, you know, Dan Wilson's out, someone takes over, and the season could be completely different at this point?
100%. It is so discouraging to see those turnarounds from those other organizations. I love Dan Wilson. Dan Wilson was the catcher for a lot of my childhood, not to date myself. But Dan Wilson took over for Scott Service, who was like militaristic and like not a player's coach. He was not fun to be around from what I've heard. I wasn't there. But if you tied your shoes the wrong way, he was going to let you hear about it. He was all over those guys, and they just felt, you could tell they were about to just explode. They hated it. They couldn't take it anymore. Dan Wilson came in and freed the birds, and now we can't get the birds back in the cage. And he's a legend. He's a top 50 Mariner of all time, and I just don't think the organization was willing to part with him mid-year, and it's gonna make it hard.
Yeah, I mean, there is obviously Cora's a hot commodity. Maybe he's the one in the off season. No,
We ain't
don't
doing
want
that.
Cora.
We ain't
I
doing
agree.
that.
I agree. I know he's got Astros ties. We don't like him. Completely agree with that. There's got to be other guys out there.
You know, you're going to be like, yeah, Jeff, you're an idiot. The year the Astros cheated the most, I think of the Yankees series, that ALCS, where an untouchable Aroldis Chapman gave up that home run to Altuve, and he's like yelling like, yeah. I forgot it was the Dodgers in the World Series. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I was just like, I was so angry with that team, and I hated them so much. To me, there's no World Series champion that year, but I forgot it was the Dodgers.
It most definitely was, and I'd rather not rehash that right now.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
I know you're an AL guy, and and the Yankees fans feel the same way about that. I mean, it just burns even deeper with me because it was the World Series. Dodgers hadn't won since '88. I adored that 2017 team. I mean, you had Puig, you had Bellinger, you still had that core. You had Kershaw in
Loved
game
Puig.
one. Kershaw in game one. Double-digit strikeouts, 7 innings, 1-run ball. Like, I think that completely washes away his other poor postseason performances if they don't cheat him out of his game 5. I mean, it's disturbing. We don't need to talk about that. Let's stick to this season.
The Astros this season stink. It sucks that they have a better record than my team, but that AL West, I kind of made this joke already. I think it's going to be 81 and 81 champions. It's going to be an 80 and 82. Like the Rangers stink, the Astros stink, the Mariners stink. Who's going to stink the least 40 days from now? We'll see.
The AL West is baffling because if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, my surprise team this year was going to be the A's, and they've completely shat the bed. I mean, they're not even in the discussion. There's 3 teams right now. If you're in the AL, you should be in the discussion. Right now, it's Angels, Royals, and A's are out of it. Everyone else is at least within 3 games.
And the Mariners have 14 against the Angels and A's before the season ends. And that's the only difference to me between them and the other teams. I'm like, we're going to fail up.
That's encouraging right now. Well,
Hmm.
I don't know if the other teams what their schedule is like, but 14 against the A's and Angels, like you got to be feeling pretty good. But then the question is, do you even believe this Mariners team could like get hot? They really haven't, because I just read that they have 1 month this year where they've played above 500 baseball, and that was the month of May, and I think they were 15-13. So are they who they are, or do they
So
have a streak in them?
Julio hit 10 home runs in the month of May. He has 18 for the season. When we have one stud, when we have one guy that plays good baseball, our team is really good. We haven't had any of our studs doing that. Last week, Mahal had a guest on. His name is Joe Doyle. It was a great episode. And he just asked him, like, Joe, what do you think the Mariners' problem is? And he said, none of your dogs have any bite. And I was like, oh, that sucks to hear. And he's so right. So I was going through. Cal Raleig's played 6 years. This is his fifth best season. Josh Naylor's played 7 years. This is his fifth best season. Cole Young, Apex, that's great. He's a 22-year-old kid. This has been J.P. Crawford's worst season with injuries of his 10-year career. Brendan Donovan, worst of his 5 years because of all the injuries. Randy's having a career year. That's great. Julio, the worst of his 5. It's just like, oh my gosh, you guys, get out of your own ways, please.
And still 3 games out of the last wild card spot.
We're in it.
Yeah, still in it. I'm rooting for you guys, because you know damn well I don't want the Astros. And honestly, when you get to the postseason, would you still put the Mariners pitching staff up against? I know the Yankees healthy. Their pitching staff's probably the premier staff of the American League. We'll see if Judge gets back, but how much do you believe in the Mariners in the playoffs?
I'm holding up a finger so I don't forget something. Right now, the Mariners' pitching staff has made me nervous all year. But right now, we have 2 aces for the first time all year. Logan Gilbert is dealing, and Brian Wu has been amazing at home. I don't know if you've seen his splits. They're hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like a 1.8 at home and a 6 on the road. He's had 2 quality starts on the road. If we get in, anything can happen. We'll see.
Listen, look at the recipe. Granted, I mean, it was one series, but it was the World Series, Dodgers, Blue Jays. The Dodgers had the lowest batting average in history for a World Series winning team. I think they hit 202, but their 4 starters ate up the majority of their innings and posted a below 3 ERA. So if you're looking for a recipe, the Mariners could pitch their way into the World Series.
Yeah. I don't think Aaron Judge is playing this year. I'm glad you brought him up. Like, I have watched sports my whole life. I've watched baseball for so long. Who's taken 6 months off, no swings, nothing? I don't care if he's the GOAT to people. He's going to come back in September, rehab, and what? What's he going to do? That's not a fair position to put him in.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up. Not swinging a bat is very concerning. I think Yankees fans, their hopes are up. Obviously, all you can do is hope he comes back, because they're not going anywhere without that bat in their lineup. Yes, Ben Rice has had a great year. They called up the kid Lombard. Outside of Ben Rice isn't going to carry. You got to have Aaron Judge in that lineup in October, no matter how good your pitching is. Like, you have to have that threat. This is Aaron Judge we're talking about. And last year it seemed like he was kind of getting out of his postseason slump. So, yeah, I mean, with the rehab and all that, and if he does it, credit to him. It'd be insane. You want to see a guy like Aaron Judge in the postseason. You want to see everyone healthy. We'll see. And then, but if it's not the Yankees, then who? Like, do we like the White Sox?
If I offered you $500 to predict the correct American League champion right now, who are you taking?
I would lean the Yankees.
Oh, that sucks.
I know. I just, Garrett Cole, Cam Schlittler, and even Bednar. I feel like every time I turn on a
Bednar's
Yankee
good.
game, that guy has like a 5-out save every single time. Yeah, I mean, there's no one running away with the American League. And I say this, not even mentioning the Rays, who have kind of ran away with the AL East for the last 3 months. And they have a bopper in their lineup, Junior Caminero, and Yandy Diaz hits over 300 every year. So we'll see what they can do. I think their ace is Rasmussen. Is that how to pronounce it?
Yeah, he Washington native. Bummer we
All
couldn't
right.
have figured that out. I think
Even on the Astros for a second, like it's crazy because in the NL, everyone's talking about the MVP race, but what Jordan is doing, like carrying
oh,
that team with
can't believe
absolutely
it.
no pitching, like yes, we're talking about Triple Crown, which I hold in high regard. I'm a baseball purist. This dude is about to get the Triple Crown leading the entire major leagues in the 3 categories. You know who else has done that? Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, Lou Gehrig. Not only is he leading Major League Baseball in 3 categories, he's leading the AL in 10 categories. This dude
Pretty
is
good.
chasing legends. Legends. So we have to shout out Jordan because I think he's the most feared hitter in baseball.
I will not. But Jordan is carrying a team. You said with that pitching. When we played them last weekend, Taylor Trammell hit cleanup for them. Who? Exactly. The people in that lineup. I'm like, where did these guys come from?
I think
Trammell got
Trammell has a
DFA'd by
ring.
the.
Trammell played, I think, 2 games for the Dodgers in 2024. I think he might have a ring.
Oh, more than I have. Okay, Taylor, my bad. I'll keep my name. I'll keep your name out of my mouth. Respect where respect is due. I still think the Red Sox are interesting in the American League.
Yeah, and they're another one. I mean, they were I think 14 games under at one point, and then we saw
Yeah.
them reel off a 15-game winning streak. So yeah, and they don't even have Crochet.
The idea of Crochet coming back and dominating or Judge coming back and dominating, like Crochet seems like it could happen. I'm not seeing this Judge thing. It makes no sense to me.
No, and we're probably going to get another Red Sox Yankees wild card.
Yeah. Okay, we got to talk NL MVP because I got fired up this week. I want you to go first. The one of the funniest names in all of sports, Pete Crow Armstrong, the most pale human being I've ever seen. He's out here going 30-30. He had a walk-off on Tuesday, same night that Ohtani had 2, but people talking like he might be MVP, who could steal something. I have thoughts, but I want you to go first.
So this is the great debate.
No.
I've listened to it all. I've heard everyone talk about it. There was even an article where players even weighed in from each league, leaning heavily in Pete Crow Armstrong's favor. I had a bone to pick with Pete at the beginning of the season. Talked a lot of shit about Dodger fans just going to the games for selfies. He's a California kid. Didn't like that. But listen, this guy last year, I remember last season, he played a 3-game series against the Dodgers and at Dodger Stadium. And his play in center field, I think he made every single play that was hit to him, whether it was a robbed catch, diving catch, hit a couple of homers. He was right there neck and neck as one of the best players on the field at that time. That's eye test. There's Ohtani fatigue, of course. And if Ohtani's not going to win the MVP, it's going to be this year, even though he made 14 starts as a pitcher to a 1.72 ERA. Still the only dude to do that. Haven't seen it before, ever. But Pete Crow Armstrong, I think it is a closer debate. They're dead even with their offensive stats. And it comes down to whether you want to weigh those 14 starts. Ohtani hasn't pitched since, I think, July 3rd. And how you weigh defensive stats. And Pete Crow Armstrong's the best center fielder in the game. And the one thing Pete Crow Armstrong has is, like you said, those walk-off homers. This dude's got moments. You talk about the Heisman Trophy. You're a college football guy. It's usually the guy who has a Heisman moment. So I think Pete Crow is actually stealing the moment right now with having these certain moments that he's had. Even though the day he hit 2 homers, went 30-30 with that walk-off homer, Ohtani went 4 for 5 with 2 homers himself. So I think it is closer than we think. I think there's Ohtani fatigue. I think you still have to consider that the guy was one of the best pitchers in baseball and he made 14 starts, and you still have to take that into consideration. And he's going to pitch. He will pitch in September. I don't know how far they'll stretch him out, but he's going to throw a baseball, and you have to value a guy that is in the lineup every day. And hey, also, he can throw the baseball, and the most valuable position in the sport is starting pitching.
Ohtani fatigue got Aaron Judge a MVP a couple 7 years ago. I still can't believe it exists. We're literally watching the greatest baseball player ever. He pitched enough games to make a difference. He was in the Cy Young conversation. You're like, oh, it's only, what was it, 18 starts? What'd you say?
14.
14 starts. Sure. What do you value more? 14 elite starts or like platinum glove center field? Man, he snatched that from Julio, by the way. Him and Julio were like, oh, who's the better center fielder? And then Julio took a year off for some reason. It's going to be hard to get that one back.
And then he threw the ball into the stands with one out. Sorry.
Sorry.
Go on.
That didn't bother me at all. Everyone had a little hissy fit about that, but I was like, man, if I was losing 20-0, if I'm losing that bad in a pickup basketball game, I'm probably saying some stuff I shouldn't say. You know, I get it. For sure. I get it. I'm not a millionaire, but whatever. To me, like, it's going to feel really dumb to look back 5 years in the future and be like, oh, that's weird that Ohtani didn't win MVP in 2026 when he tied with PCA in every offensive statistical category, but they just got tired of him in those moments. I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to stomach.
And it's funny because, like, Pete Crow Armstrong, I think he does have a legitimate shot to get to 40-40. He's at 30-30 now. And then you look at Ohtani, what he did in 2024 with a 50-50 season. 50. And you're like, okay, let's give it a Pete because Ohtani didn't pitch the second half of the season. Ohtani should get it. He's going to get it every year when he plays, plays
and that's
to his
good.
abilities. Yeah. And
that's a good thing.
We should respect that. Like, it's crazy. And it happened in basketball in the 90s when Michael Jordan, there was Jordan fatigue. They gave one to Barkley. They gave one to Karl Malone. It's an MVP, but also you got to give credit to most of these guys at the end of their careers when they're second in MVP voting. Like, we do look at that when it comes down to it. And Pete Crow Armstrong is going to be in that conversation for a long time. It's just he was playing in the Ohtani era. And I want Ohtani. My thing that I really want Ohtani to do is get to Bonds' 7 MVPs and hopefully pass him with 8.
That'd be sick. Yeah. How many is he at now? 5? We'll get research on that. Yeah. PCA said Babe Ruth wasn't real. Didn't love that.
Hate that. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about that. I don't like that at all. And that's like Gen Z Pete Crow Armstrong just taking over. Because one thing I love about this guy, and he just played in the Field of Dreams game, and he just gets it, is Bryce Harper. And Bryce Harper came up as, the young, maybe asshole or, didn't think his shit didn't sink. But Pete Crow, he's at
4 for Ohtani, 4 MVPs. Okay.
We need to get him to 5. But yeah, like Bryce Harper would never do something like that. Like, Pete, you're the face of the game. Respect the history of the game. I couldn't stand that.
PCA also hit in the 9-hole for a month this year because he was struggling. I just am like, you guys, let's not do this.
I did tweet about that because they were at Dodger Stadium after he said all those comments, and I said, "You're talking all that shit from the 9-hole, buddy."
From the 9-hole. Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, Blake Snell's amazing but doesn't play. These are your last 3 big free agent signings as a Dodgers fan. Shohei and Yamamoto, those 2 are working out very, very, very nicely. The idea, when people are coming to me lately, I want to hear your response to this, but I'm getting frustrated on your behalf, which is crazy. Like, screw the Dodgers, of course. But when people are like, oh, they got Scooble, that's it, no season next year. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That was a trade that any team could have done. And they're like, well, they knew he was going to sign there. I'm like, do we? We know that? And like Kyle Tucker didn't work out. Edwin Diaz is not working out. It's all cyclical. The Dodgers found a hole in the current bargaining agreement. They found it. They're taking advantage of it. It'll change a little bit, but the Dodgers are not killing baseball. There are 7 teams using deferred money right now. I would like for that rule to go, but like this isn't a Dodgers killing the league problem. What do you say when people say that to you?
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And like you mentioned, like I've been a Dodger fan for so long, so it's like, why should I feel bad that my, team that I've rooted for starts to pay for all these, great free agents? But it's not even like that. Like if you go deeper, um, their development system is awesome. They're able to make these trades for a guy like Scuball because they've built up their farm system. So they scout and develop better than anyone in the league. We talked last time I was on the podcast before the trade deadline, and I said, listen, the Dodgers can even at this point get Scuball to keep them away from the Brewers or the Braves or the Cubs. Those teams didn't step up and they didn't have the farm system to get Scuball. And I think the Dodgers have actually dodged a few bullets. Like, yes, Diaz hasn't worked out. Tucker hasn't worked out. Tanner Scott didn't work out last year, but, they didn't pay Manny Machado. They didn't want to pay for that contract. They let Trey Turner walk. They let Seager walk. And it was all leading up to getting Shohei Ohtani. And that's when everything changed. That was the guy that said, hey, pay me $2 million a year and defer, whatever it is, $600 million, so we could bring these guys in. And you mentioned Snell. Listen, Snell last year in the postseason, especially that game 1 against the Brewers when he had 8 stellar innings, thought he should have went 9. He earned my respect with that postseason performance. That's what you have to do. You have to perform in October. Like, yeah, Diaz and Tucker are struggling now. Tucker could come up with one big hit in October and win a baseball game, and I'm like, let's go. And it's not like that contract is for 10 years. It's for 4 years. He has been brutally bad. And you know what another thing is about the Dodgers? Come October, if these guys aren't performing, Dave Roberts is not going to play Kyle Tucker. He will sit Kyle Tucker down against lefties. He doesn't care if you're making $60 million. He will play the best player. Every single time he'll play the best player. And Edwin Diaz, right now, I don't think he's, especially if the Dodgers get that wild card series, 3-game series, I don't think Diaz is going to be a part of the roster.
No,
So,
not right now.
yeah. So, right. And Glasnow, another guy, he's coming back. Last year, earned my respect in the postseason. So these guys can turn it around come October. But yeah, the people that say the Dodgers are ruining baseball, sorry about it. You guys can do the same damn thing.
I would like for the deferred money to go away. Right now, Dodgers, Red Sox, Cubs, Diamondbacks, Giants, Guardians, shocking, and Nationals are confirmed to be using deferred money. Also, Dylan Cease's contract with the Blue Jays is deferred. So that's 8. 8 of the 30 teams in the league we know are using deferred money.
And I think it's actually supposed to help smaller market teams, is it not?
Oh, we just got a passing bomb. Kate Anderson is being called up right now. Sorry.
Wow.
Let's go.
Show.
Let's go.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, it'll be hilarious if this is not true, but it's Jeff Passan certified. And 2, we talked about it. Here we go. That's pretty cool.
That is awesome. When do you think his first
It's got to be this weekend. Right? Yeah, we're playing the Cubs this weekend.
That'll be awesome. I love a good debut.
I was locked into what you were saying, and my phone just went lit up a bunch. I was like,
Is he built up? Like, is he going six innings in the minors?
Yeah. He hasn't given up a run in his last 10 outings or something like that. Like, Double-A is like, please get this guy out of here. He's killing us.
What a freak. Yeah. Maybe that will turn it around for you guys.
There you go.
Get some juice.
Okay. I am super impressed with the Brewers. I love when you and I get to talking because it's already been a half hour. what's your confidence level in a Dodgers getting to the World Series? Not to win, just like advancing through the National League. Where is your confidence level, and where has it been in years past? Like, where are you at?
So 2024 wasn't confident at all. And I thought that was a shame because the Dodgers had the best bullpen I thought they had ever had going in there, but their starting pitching, they had Flaherty, they had Yamamoto, who was injured for half the season, and a Walker Buehler, who was struggling to get
Oh
back
yeah,
from post surgery. And those guys ended up stepping up, and that was the three that got it done. And the Dodgers were actually using bullpen games, and like basically throwing games away just to keep their guys fresh. So 2024 wasn't confident, but the guys stepped up. Obviously, I'm always going to be confident in the offense, even though the offense has been the issue as of late, and we've seen them be sluggish. 2025, I had a lot of confidence because I think starting pitching is king. And when you have Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani, I'm going to take those four guys every single time. But the bullpen was not good. So those final 3 outs last year, I was like, I don't know. But I don't think the Brewers were as good last year as they are this year. I think the Cubs are going to be a good team. I don't know if they have the pitching. So this year, all things considered, if healthy, I think I'm going to take the Dodgers pitching again. I think it's kind of, I'll probably be the same confidence level as I was last year. I think they could
okay.
figure out the bullpen. I know Diaz is not the guy right now, but I think you're going to have Robleski get pushed to the bullpen. Sasaki, I think you might actually end up having Sasaki close games like last year. So we'll see. I think if they get to the American League, I'll feel more, or if they get to the World Series, I'll actually feel more confident than ever in a World Series matchup than I will, because I think the National League is very tough this year. So we'll see what happens.
Heck yeah. I think this year might be the first year the Dodgers being a top 2 seed will be really important. We'll see what happens. If they're the 3, I'm like, oh, it might be a tough run.
Very much so, because I think they play the Padres, who are Tatis has turned them around.
Padres, Braves, Brewers sounds brutal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I mean, the other wild card series is going to be Cubs, Phillies. Like, the National League is stacked.
Anything you want to promote?
Nothing to promote. I'll promote this podcast.
Like the W.
I'll keep jumping on every time you need me.
Can't wait. For anyone out there that wants to join a Football Picks League, I'm running that. You can tweet me, you can text me, you can call me, whatever you got. As far as getting a hold of me, I'm on Twitter at Jeff Budke. I asked Cody for a hot take or two on the NFL on the way out. You got anything for me?
Yes, I've been telling people Caleb Williams is my MVP this year.
Ooh.
And I am saying my sleeper team to get to a playoff, probably through the wild card, weak division, the AFC South. I think the Titans, Robert Saleh, Brian Daboll.
Whoa!
I love their new jerseys. They probably got the best uniforms in football now. So goodness. The Titans sneak into the playoffs. My Super Bowl matchup, I think we get past the Seahawks this year. I'm a Rams fan. We'll see, but I think we knock you down, and I think it's going to be Ravens, Rams, Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson gets over the hump and takes on the Rams in the Super Bowl.
The Rams spare no expense, but for some reason they are refusing to pay for bodyguards around Puka. There should be 6 people with a circle around him at all times, grabbing microphones away from him. No freedom for Puka.
Couldn't agree more.
Isolate that man.
Couldn't agree more.
Oh my gosh, dude, you singed the hairs on my eyebrow with that Titans take. I was not ready for that. My man, let's go.
Do you not agree?
I think the AFC South, like any of those South teams, like they're gonna go on a run. The Titans are gonna like the jump from that coach last year, Callahan and his dad, to Saleh is like night and day. We've seen that all the time. I really like Cam Ward, but I'm nervous about like his development behind that offensive line. Well,
yeah,
I could see them winning like 7-8 games, but you're talking like 9. Woo.
I know, and I just thought, like, honestly, the Texans, like if they had a capable quarterback last year, Stroud just absolutely took a step back. Like if that
Yeah.
dude plays like he did his rookie year, like you're talking about the Texans AFC championship and potential Super Bowl. So really that should have been my hot take, but I'm
Yeah.
riding the Titans. Let's go. Let's get them into the playoffs. I mean, the baby blue uniforms are sick.
This has been episode 497 of Light the W. I don't think it's that many. Mahal will love that. Cody, thank you so much for joining us. And as always, go M's. Peace.
Peace.